Good morning, dear students. Today's class, I would like to revise about once again the political science chapters for first term online examination. Dear students, we all of you knows that the first chapter that is about inequality. Inequality. So there we need to be concentrate on, especially in a democratic countries. So the equality means what kind of a equality? Why is it so important in a democratic countries? And especially the practice of the discrimination that is based on the different, maybe the color, creed, or even the male or female, or even the based on religion also, caste also, so irrespective of all these things, so all are equal before the law. So here we studied the different stories to understand more about. In a democratic system, the constitution provides for each and everyone, especially the fundamental rights for same. So there is no any. For example, I would like to give this: the universal adult franchise. See, the universal adult franchise, that is, means in India, above 18 age, all they are actually eligible to cast their valuable vote. So there are some certain conditions to cast while casting the vote. Otherwise, so it's a very common. And each vote has only one value also. So one person, one vote, and then one value. So here, all are equal before the law. So none of the person, irrespective of their economic condition or political condition, so they are not allowed to treat anyone, even the domination over minority classes or the majority class people or rich class people, noble class people. No, not like that. So the fundamental rights are actually provided the everything, all the different rights. Especially we studied, we all of you knows that there are six fundamental rights are provided by the Constitution of India. It is the same for everyone. President of the country, what is enjoying the same, it's applied for the common people also. So everyone they are equal, irrespective of their any condition. It is very much important in a democratic society. Of course, dear students, the basic principle of the democratic system is about the to provide equal political rights. To provide equal political rights. So we studied the incident, some of the events with Hansari while he was searching for rented house. So he was actually based because of his religion. The apartment owner rejected to provide a house for the person. Then they told the different reason why they are not ready to give. And even we studied the case of the Om Prakash Valmiki also. Om Prakash Valmiki was explained, described himself in his autobiography, Jutan. Jutan, it is an autobiography written by Om Prakash Valmiki, and in his childhood, when he was in fourth standard, how the headmaster of the school and others, so they were treated this all. And also, dear students, because of this only, how Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, he was struggled to abolish the system of untouchability in our country, and he was contributed a lot in this struggle, especially because they were all actually themselves, they were experienced the condition of the society and how the so-called the upper class people or the society people, they are treating very badly are getting their students. So it is a very much necessary. So that's what the main aim of the democratic countries. So that is about, especially the main aim of the democratic countries, that is about providing equal opportunity. So is there government for what purpose? In a democratic system, government is there especially for to provide the basic needs for its citizens. So in a democratic system, the governments are introducing, started so many programs, schemes and all to make sure the basic needs for its citizens. For example, the elementary education is a compulsory education in our country. So even the government used to provide so many the other, such as even the uniform, books, and even the scholarships also. And some of the governments are providing some other things also like shoes, socks, and even the especially bicycle for the students. Even the government has taken a lot of steps and the different programs and schemes to improvise. Especially we all of you studied in 2005, first time in India, the government of Tamil Nadu, which was introduced the midday meal scheme. So please keep it in your mind, the midday meal scheme was introduced by the Tamil Nadu government first time in India. Then afterwards, even the Supreme Court asked all the state to compulsorily start this midday meal scheme in the entire country. ಸೊ ಭಾರತದ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ರಾಜ್ಯಗಳು ಸಹ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಶಾಲೆನಲ್ಲೂ ಸಹ ಈ ಒಂದು ಮಿಡ್ ಡೇ ಮೀಲ್ ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ ಅನ್ನ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಸಹ ಅದು ಗೈಡ್ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ, ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Then we can understand the intention of this program. Are you getting these students? So actually in the different part of the countries, everyone they were actually not getting. Even there were many European countries where they were struggling to get equal rights, especially the suffrage right to vote, which we used to call as a universal adult franchise in our country. There were many, they were struggled, and there were racial discrimination also, even in America also. So that's what the civil rights movement were started in America. And by passing the Civil Right Act, then only soon that implemented, I mean providing equal opportunities, equal rights to all citizens in America, irrespective of their color and then race. So this is not only the problem of India, then all over the world, the different countries people, the different group people, the different communities people, the different race, the different. So even there are many countries where the right to vote completely denied for women also. ಇವತ್ತಿಗೂ ಸಹ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರಿಗೆ ಸಮಾನವಾದಂತಹ ರಾಜಕೀಯ ಸ್ಥಾನಮಾನಗಳನ್ನು ನೀಡದೇ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಂಗತಿಗಳನ್ನು ಸಹ ನಾವು ಕಾಣ್ತೀವಿ. Like that, there are many states, I mean the state in the sense countries, even we can observe that. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಹೋರಾಟವನ್ನು ನಡೆದಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ. But fortunately, after gaining independence after 1947, when the Indian leaders, so they were decided to adopt the democratic system of the government. So they were decided, and the constitution makers decided to provide so equal opportunities, equal rights for everyone getting noticed. So this you have to concentrate and then study very carefully. Then the next about the role of the government in public health. ಸೊ ಜನಗಳ ಆರೋಗ್ಯವನ್ನು ಕಾಪಾಡತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಪಾತ್ರ ಏನು? ಇಟ್ಸ್ ರಿಯಲಿ ದ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಪ್ಲೇ ಅ ವೈಟಲ್ ರೋಲ್. So already we discussed and then we learned. So India is one of the largest producers of the medicine, and as well as every year the more number of the doctors they are come out from our medical colleges. So even though dear students, the health system in our country it's not sufficient. The public health it is not meant for everyone. So ಇವತ್ತಿಗೂ ಸಹ ಎಷ್ಟು why because of the different problems. So here we have to concentrate on the two sectors, the health system, especially the public sector and the private sector, private hospitals and then government hospitals. So wherever you can go, the condition of the private health centers it's so good because they are collecting sufficient amount also. But what about the government of hospitals conditions? It is so vast. So somewhere doctors are there, but there is no infrastructure. Somewhere infrastructures are there, but there is no maintenance. Especially the cleanliness, sanitation, it's completely lacking. So Bharatadalli, even the India, it's so famous for its medicine. There are many thousands medical tourists, especially from the foreign countries. They are coming to our country to take treatment. Like that, highly specialized hospitals are existed in our country, even though it's not sufficient. Still, the poor class people, the middle class people, and the other sections of the society, those who are economically lagging behind, they were unable to go and get the proper treatment. So in this condition, the government even trying in a different way also. Separate department is there, health department. Then health ministers are there in each state, even in central government also. We all of you know, dear students, during like this pandemic situation, COVID-19 situation, how it's so important. The role of the government in health. It is very essential. And whatever the government role is there now to provide, almost we cannot say it's completely successful or we cannot say it's completely failed. Because it is about the question of how they are maintaining. There are a lot of problems are there in government sector. Of course, dear students, the government used to every year the primary health centers in a village level, and even in Hubli level also there is the primary health center and taluk hospitals and district hospitals and even the specialized hospitals also. And in towns and cities, more number of government hospitals which are especially concentrating on that particular diseases and all. But whether it is reaching public in the, of course, dear students, there are so many technical problems to provide the quality health and treatment for the common people. And already we learned about the condition of the private health centers. They are maintaining, even I read and you all of you read the storyboard also. They are maintaining very hygienic, very, then even the doctors and each and everyone, they are communicating with the public very soft way, but the same software they used to type the belongs. But it's not possible for the common people to bear and to get treatment in those hospitals. So that's what dear students, providing good health facilities, that should be thoroughly followed by the head of the departments, especially during this pandemics dangerous situation. Why? Because health is most important. If there is no health, then nothing is there. Health is a wealth. And afterwards, students, we learn some of the other things also. How the state government works. See here, there we can see an elected MLS. The whole country after the independence in our India, it's divided into different constituencies. So already I explained about the briefly about the federal system. So here we can see government at different levels: state government, central government, and local self-government. So in this, actually, we are a little bit learned about the state government, the formation of the state government, and how these state governments are working in a different states. So dear students, here where all the elected representatives are gathered or assembled, those places or those bodies used to called as a legislature assembly. And the entire the state divided based on physical regions and the population into different constituencies. So here from each constituencies there is the representative, and this representative used to call as an MLA, member of legislative MLA. So here once when we are complete the process of the election, the election commissioner used to declare the selected candidate of that respective constituency, and afterwards all these MLAs they are gathering. We all of knows that India, since we are following the multi-political party system, so in this those who are getting the majority means the number of elected representatives may belongs to the single political party. So those majority group, especially the more than half of the members. So here in this multi-political party system, sometimes no single party may not get a result. Here in the multi-political, anybody can contest through the different political parties also. Even the candidate contest themselves also independently. So here, these independent candidates or whoever it may be, the different political parties, somewhere sometimes if there is no majority, then that time two or more than two political parties together they are forming the government, that is called as a coalition government, that we have learned in the last classes. Then after the completion of this the election, the majority political party members of the coalition or the two or more than two political party, those who are interested to form the government together, so they are used to choose their leader as a the leader of the legislative assembly, those who are called as a chief minister. And afterwards the chief minister is going to select ministers from the ruling party and is going to distribute the portfolios or the departments. And there are so many departments, and each department headed by the minister. They are look after, they are head of that respective portfolio or department. So like this they are forming the government, and that body used to call as a executive body. And the remaining elected representatives, those who are not a part of the executive body, or those who are not from the government, or those who are not belongs to the ruling party, they used to call as a opposition party. They used to call it as a opposition party, and they are going to choose the opposition party leader also. So here, dear students, the head of the government is chief minister because he is the captain of the government. And please keep in your mind, this chief minister and his ministers, they are appointing by the governor of that respective state. Each state have governors. So here the ministers and the chief ministers, they are going to appoint by the governor. So the governor is going to consider the majority political party and who is going to just is nominate, is calling to form the government. So here governor is a head of the state and chief minister is a head of the government. Here actually the main executive body is the elected representatives, not the governor. Then afterwards, we all of you knows that dear students, so they used to conduct an assembly and then they are discussing. We can observe the disputes, conflicts, and the MLAs are raising their questions. And then here, whatever it may be, the elected government in a democratic system is accountable to the assembly also, and as well as accountable to the public also. So even there is the press conference, press meet and all, then they used to explain, even the medias are all, because in democratic system medias are very free. While decision making, while passing the rules, the regulations, policies and all. So they must follow. So in this way, while taking the major decisions and even public also involved in this system, and in this way the government is running. So please keep in your mind, the elected representatives or an MLA elected for whoever it may be in a at a different level of the government. So the people, they are electing only for 5 years, and these elected representatives are accountable to the people and as well as accountable to the assembly also. So here the role of the executive body is very much important, especially the chief minister and the ministers of the different portfolios. If you have any doubts regarding this, you can call me and then try to clear your doubts before examination. Okay. Thank you. Have a nice day.